Hello. Thank you for having me. Um, I actually wanted to talk a little bit about SciArtsRUs. So SciArtsRUs is actually a nonprofit that was founded by me in the state of California in the United States. Essentially, I'm actually a scientist by training, and while I really love science and by profession, I'm a scientist. I'm also a very avid art and music aficionado and also a promoter. And so, one of the things that we wanted to focus on with SciArts or Us is this idea that all science is an art and all art is in science. And, I can definitely talk about this a little bit more. But fundamentally, all art and science are related. And so my effort was to make an attempt to make science, arts, and musical activities accessible and also provide a platform for promotion of this, not just amongst adults, but children as well. And we also wanted to use this opportunity to leverage leadership skills of children in order for them to be able to give back to the society and promote passion in the area of arts and sciences. And so the way we've been trying to do this is by several events. During the pandemic, we've done many online events, and we hope that going forward in the future, we will be able to do several live events as well. Thank you. So, SciArtsRUs was founded with the mission to not only promote arts, science, and music, but also to make it accessible. So, one of the things that we're trying to do is, as many people know, the arts and especially music, when you start pursuing art forms, performing or visual arts, they can be quite expensive and quite hard to afford by many people. So, similarly, science as well, when you start getting into the nitty gritty of sciences, you want to pursue a high degree in sciences, it becomes a little difficult to have that sustained interest. And so, our effort is to try to promote science and arts and music in a fun way amongst the children, so we can we can help with the next generation of children in these areas. Additionally, as many people might be aware, arts and especially like music, the world of music definitely needs a lot of supporters in terms of resources and opportunities. And so we hope this platform will provide um, artists and its patrons an opportunity to interact and also to promote the arts globally. And, we've been doing that at the moment digitally because of the pandemic. And like I was mentioning, going forward, we would certainly like to do live events as well. SciArtsRUs has, delved into a few different areas since its inception a little over a year ago, actually. One of the first things we did was actually a online international music, celebrating the International Music and Yoga Day. We invited several artists around the world to contribute, and this happens as on June 21st as part of the Nadi Yoga celebrations. And that was our first event that we kicked off. And subsequently, what we've also done is events in science. So, one of the events that we did last year was this COVID Cognizance Contest, where we opened up this contest to pretty much globally the entire world. But we had excellent participation from Chettinad Harishri Vidyalayam in Chennai. And we are happy to say that the culmination of the event, we had many dignitaries, including the principal of Chettinad Harishri Vidyalayam, Mrs. Gauri Shivashankar. Additionally, we have also subsequently done events during the Margari season. We collaborated with the very well-known organization Karnataka Archival Center, founded by Sri K. and Shashikiran. This December, and SciArtsRUs and Karnataka Global together brought together the Margari Music Mela. It was a 6-day festival where we were collaborating and exploring the synergy of science and art in music. And we have also done in an event related to disability. So we have created a platform. So SciArtsRUs, in collaboration with a non-profit in Bangalore, Inclusion Beyond Abilities Trust, founded by Mrs. Lakshmi Ravishankar. We have collaborated to create a online platform called Art Abilities for All. And in this, we have also featured differently abled artists from around the world. And in fact, in December, we did a 5-day global festival, and in that, we featured an India Day where we featured artists from remote villages, visually challenged artists from remote villages who performed in our platform. And also, as we did something called Margari Matram, where we featured visually challenged and intellectually challenged artists and gave them an opportunity to perform in the Margari season as well. Now, in this new event that we are going to launch on the 23rd, what we are trying to do is promote the concept of cross culture concerts. So, in other words, we want to bring together artists from different backgrounds who are actually pursuing an art of a different culture. So, for example, we want to ask the question, why someone who is of a non Indian origin gets very interested in Indian arts, whether it is Hindustani music, Carnatic, dance. And while this seems like a very obvious question, what we are trying to do is we want to spread music and concerts, music with a message. So we're trying to tease out, the positive message that is there in such an initiative. And so what we're doing currently, we're going to launch this event, the cross culture concerts, on the 23rd of this month. Actually, it'll be 24th in India, where we're inviting several dignitaries. We have dignitaries from around the world. For example, we have the mayor of our city who is presiding this festival. We have a Carnatic music educator and researcher, Mr. Balraj Balasubramanian, who is a professor who has been teaching a lot of non-Indians Carnatic music in Wesleyan University. We also have the very eminent lead guitarist and singer, Mr. Greg Kofi Brown, who is from the very famous popular band OCBisa. In fact, they were very popular in India as well. He has very kindly agreed to join our show. We are also very honored and thrilled to have the Grammy Award nominee and sarod player, Mr. Ashish Khan. He is a highly respected musician and also professor in the Cal Arts Institute in Los Angeles. We have Mr. Ron Wasserman, who is a very accomplished award-winning composer in Hollywood, who is also joining us. Additionally, we have Professor Abhiman Kaushal, who is a professor of ethnomusicology in UCLA, who will be joining us as well. And in addition, we have Mr. Frankie Radin, who is an ethnomusicologist and an Indonesian musician and composer. So these dignitaries are going to help us launch the series. So the first series of 8 episodes, you are featuring many talented artists. In fact, many of these artists are from the United States. There's an artist from Japan and an artist from Indonesia as well. I encourage everyone to tune in, because what we're also doing is trying to do a meet and greet with the artists, so we get to know the artists a little more. And, I think, especially if you think about it from the Indian perspective, when you actually see, someone who's not of an Indian origin, who's pursuing Indian music or dance so passionately, be it, instrumental music, vocal, performing art of any kind, I think that would definitely help our children of Indian origin, be it in India or other countries, get inspired to continue doing our art form. And number two, from a non-Indian perspective as well, in this day and age, where we have so much unrest, we are trying to see how can we promote diversity and inclusion, of everyone in this world. So we are trying to also encourage other artists from other parts of the world who are pursuing an art form or a culture or musical form that's not theirs. And so we actually have a very interesting artist who's actually originally from Italy, but he's pursues passionately Indian music, Indonesian and Middle Eastern music, and so we're featuring him as well. We also have a Japanese artist who's going to be performing on the Veena Carnatic music. And we have several other artists who are going to be performing on the sitar and sarod as well. We are very excited about this series, and we really hope you'll tune in and join us, enjoy this, and help spread the positive message. Thank you. So yes, like I said, I have been doing this, and SciArtsRUs is doing these activities and events because it's a passion of mine. I feel passionately about science and music and arts, and especially in this pandemic, artists I think have taken one of the biggest hits. With many events cancelled, it's very hard for the artists to actually survive, especially if you are counting on your art to pay your bills. Being very cognizant of that, and also being an art aficionado and a music aficionado, I've been trying my best to provide different platforms. However, it would be very nice if we could get sponsors and kind donors who would be willing to help us continue this in a sustainable way. And so we are trying to request, corporate houses, sponsors, individual philanthropists to please reach out to us, because, as patrons of arts, if we don't support the art and we don't support the artists, the art will die. And before we know it, the legacy that we have, especially a country like India, we have such a rich legacy. We should not let that die. So, my humble request is to, if corporate houses and other agencies and philanthropists are willing to help us, please reach out to us. My phone number is listed in our website. You can please check it out in SciArtsRUs.com or on our Facebook page. Please reach out to us either through social media or through the phones, through the telephone or by email, and we'll be happy to explain to you some of our other events that are coming up shortly.